welcome to Auto Arcadia. I am one of your hosts, Thomas, and with me, as always, is.
Colin, how you doing, dude?
I'm doing good. I'm doing really, really good. How are you?
I'm smashing, man. I'm smashing. It's been a transformative week.
Good to hear. That's good to hear. But we're not going to get too bogged down in what we've been up to. We're going to go straight on with the topic of today, which is.
Well, it is WRC and a brief period of time before the WRC.
Nice. Yeah, I'm totally looking forward to this. Do you know what? I'm going to derail us almost immediately, very quickly,
What?
because I feel I'm going to give you a news update for the Formula One, because I know you care deeply and you want to hear
I do care. I
it.
do. I enjoy hearing about it.
So basically, there's been two races so far with the new regulations. There's been
Okay.
Australia and there's been China. And I would love to say that I managed to stay awake through both of them, but I did not. I fell asleep during both. I mean, the
Well,
Australia one was on at like 4 a.m., but the China one was on at 7, and it was just a bit dull in some places. I'm not sure 100% how good it is at the moment. The new regulations are very interesting. The cars get like a huge amount of battery boost, and they have to
really?
manage it, so it's like a recharge deploy kind of system.
Okay.
And it means that when a car's on boost, it's like they've hit the boost in Mario Kart. They're like in a different fucking class. They just zoom past people, but then they have to recharge, and whoever they were trying to overtake has more boost, so they can quite easily boost back past them. So you get a lot of laps where it's just two cars just kind of jockeying back and forward, which can be good. But there's just something about the way, like how much faster the cars are on boost, that's kind of like, I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about it.
Right. It sounds like it's very tactical.
It's quite tactical, yeah. It is quite tactical in the deployment. You've got to kind of put yourself in a position to deploy the least boost to get the overtake done, I think. So you've got the most boost to defend at the end.
Yeah, like you want to keep some back so that you're not getting blasted past all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. But they have that boost to deploy on a normal lap as well. So that
Oh,
yeah, it's a very strange, and like the cars don't really like aggressively slam on the brakes for corners anymore, because obviously the bit that you can generate a lot of, you know, uh, battery uh, energy back is in like the braking. So a lot of them do like kind of like OST kind of regenerative sort of braking style thing into corners, which is mean there's not really
yeah.
like that, not always that mad kind of dive onto the brakes. I mean, to be fair, Australia and China, they're not, they don't have like insanely massive hairpin braking moments, at least that I can recall.
Yeah. Aye, that like you wouldn't have thought that adding more performance like that would slow cars down, but that's an unintended side effect really, because they want to be braking for longer.
Kinda, aye, or just using a little bit of like battery regen, like old dynamo kind of stuff,
Yeah.
to also help them get slowed down. It's quite interesting. Also, because it's new regulations, there's loads of fucking problems with the cars. Like, um, it's ridiculous. The China Grand Prix, I think it's either 6 or 7 cars didn't finish. Two of them didn't start. Actually, three didn't start, I think, because they were
Really?
braking. And then one of them, two of them retired, I think. No, three retired. Honestly, just a huge number of cars. There's 22 on the grid, and there was only something like 15 or 16 that actually finished.
That's fucking wild,
The
man.
attrition rate is high, man. It's really, really high. Like, and there's Cadillac are the new team, so they've got an actual American factory team in F1 now. But Cadillac are proper back markers. Like they are slow AF, just trundling along.
Wow. That's fucking nuts, like.
Yeah, so I will continue to give you updates on what's going on with the F1. I mean, obviously, there's now a huge gap in the calendar in April because they were going to go to, I want to say, Bahrain and Abu Dhabi. but obviously they ain't be doing that based on current geopolitical situation.
Yeah, it's a tough sell in the middle of World War Three.
Yeah, yeah.
No, fair play.
But yeah, there you go. There's a little F1 corner. What's going on? The cars are new. It's a bit more kind of. It's weirdly sometimes a bit gimmicky with the boost. But there has been some like decent kind of like. There's lots of overtakes, but I'm not sure if it's like. I don't know. I think I reserve my judgment. But loads of the cars are not finishing these races. High attrition rates.
Fair, man. Fair. Yeah, no, I might have to have a look at this. I'll have a little. Well, I'm unlikely to be doing anything at work tomorrow. I'll probably stick it on YouTube and have a wee watch, I think.
Yeah, probably the highlights are a good place to start.
Yeah, like I'm not going to suggest. I'm not like I don't have the patience to sit and watch an entire race, but certainly highlights are a way to go.
Mm-hmm.
I have watched some of the highlights previously, and I do quite enjoy them. So yeah,
Nice, nice.
no.
I'm gonna get you an F1, man.
Honestly, like after the F1 episode, I have found myself watching it on YouTube occasionally, and I'm like, ooh, I am getting into this. Like, I am enjoying this. I don't know if I would get up at like 4 in the morning to do it. Like, there's very little on this planet that can get me up at 4 in the morning. I'm not sure Formula One can. Maybe if I was
Mm.
racing in Formula One, but not to watch it.
Honestly, I didn't really get to see very much of the Australian Grand Prix because, like, I woke up at 4, paddled over, like, excuse me, like signed into the whole Sky Sports stuff and like started watching it. And I watched the first lap, and then my internet like just died. So I spent a bit of time trying to get that working again. I jumped back in on lap 10 just as everything started to calm down. So I missed all of the racing at the start. And then I watched like another 15 laps and then fell asleep. And then when I woke up, it was like all of the finishing stuff that was happening. I was like, oh, but the order that they finished in was the same order that they were in when I fell asleep, so I didn't miss anything.
Fair enough. Yeah, fair man, fair.
But we
It's
didn't come here to talk about F1, did we?
no, I don't suppose we did. I don't mind a little bit of F1, no. But yeah, we're really here for the polar opposite of F1.
Cars on dirt, on
On
mud.
dirt that actually resemble cars.
Mm.
So everyone knows the WRC, but for us to talk about the WRC, dude, we have to go back in time.
How far
Um,
back in time?
the late 1800s,
Okay, so quite far back.
quite far back.
Can I ask
Um,
potentially an annoying question?
hit me.
Is there any like pictures? Is there any visual media for this presentation?
I don't have pictures, unfortunately, but feel free to Google as I
I will be googling as you
as
talk.
I
Yeah.
regale. Um, so fucking birth of rallying. Well, actually, the birth of motorsport. Okay, we're going back to like Genesis here. So really, the rallying began as like reliability trials. They weren't really speed contests, and they were more or less designed to prove that cars could survive long distances, usually on absolute dogshit roads. Those of us in the UK will be very familiar with that last bit.
Absolutely. So was it one of those things where it was driven by manufacturers to be like, this is how good our car is, it can go X, Y, and Z? Or was it driven by like car enthusiasts that were like trying to show that the car was like the next big thing, if you know what I mean?
Car enthusiasts, man. So, like, a lot of the stuff that I found from this sort of period in time, they referred to everything as horseless carriages.
Nice.
Um, and like the manufacturers used these trials as like laboratories, but there wasn't really like what you would call like a manufacturer backed team. You don't really see that in rallying until really quite late on in, well, early in the sports history, well, late in the sports history, considering we're in the 1800s at the minute. Um, but like the very first one was the Paris to Rouen trial,
Okay.
um, widely considered to be the world's first competitive motoring event ever, and that was in 1894. And the first one was won out actually by a Peugeot of all things with 3 horsepower.
3 whole horsepower.
Three whole horsepower.
Was that in 1894?
It was.
Oh,
I can't.
do you know what? I love looking at pictures of the horseless carriages because they are very much horseless carriages.
Yeah, they are. Like it's literally just an obscene engine that can barely be called an engine that runs on coal dust, probably. Um, and like that's it. It's just fucking boom. There we go. Um, I'm not going to dwell too much on this because I was just wanting to touch on it because I need to set the foundation, which is like that was like a trial is basically that was this is the genesis for rally was the world's first competitive motor event, which was a trial, um, because most rallies are actually trials. So then, 1900s to
Wait.
1920s, go on.
Trial is in it's a point to point, time based.
Yes, like in rally, it's a speed contest, but you're really racing against the clock. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you're inadvertently racing against other people, but the main like big baddie of it is you have to be faster in time because it's outside of like breakdowns and crashes. It's actually quite unusual for people to catch up on the car in front of them because everyone's racing the clock, which means they're all moving pretty competitively.
Yeah, it's a staggered start. It's kind of like racing everyone at the same time with ghost mode on.
Exactly, man. That's the perfect analogy for it.
To totally derail this further, did you ever play rally games and catch up to the car in front?
Yes.
I always thought that was good fun. Like, you got a staggered start, you're like, right, how many of these can I take before the end of the race?
Yes. Colin McRae Rally 1995 was the boy for that, I always found. On the
God.
PSX, of all things.
Wait, what was the
Um,
PSX?
that was the flappy, the flappy topped PlayStation, but like the big square one.
Oh yeah, no, I do. It's the first one essentially.
Yeah, the very first one.
The big grey box.
That's it.
Honestly, quite like the design of the first PlayStation. It's very grey box.
It's a cool bit of kit. I like it. I've actually got one in the other room as well. Like, we're gonna put a fucking hell. We're off track wildly here. We're gonna put a retro gaming center in the house. So I've got like the original Xbox and Xbox 360. We've got to try and get like a Dreamcast or something and the
Mm.
PSX and have them all set up.
Have you got the PlayStation 2?
No,
Oh man,
I could pick one up pretty cheap though, so I might
they're
do that.
the amount of good retro games, like, well, it's retro, but like the amount of good games for PS2. There's so many. They made fucking loads of games on the PS2.
Yeah. No, there was a lot of good stuff. I remember because you had a PS2 and I had an Xbox.
Mm. Yeah, Xbox
Um,
just I've always felt that Xbox just never had the catalog of like weird shit, whereas the PS2, like, there's just so many
does.
weird small kind of games. There's so much variety. It's crazy.
It's a fair point, man. Very fair point.
But yeah, so sorry, back to Rally, totally
Yeah. We're,
distracted.
we're fucking
So the first
veering
kind of
wildly off.
official rally, 1894. It's won by a Peugeot, which probably not the last time we say that in the context of rally.
It's not. Peugeot actually have quite a big history. Like Sebastian Loeb, when we get to that in the WRC, was a big Peugeot Citroen man. But next up, like 1900s to 1920s. So Europe becomes the fucking hub of early rallying. And events like Monte Carlo Rally.
Mm-hmm.
introduced the idea of like starting from multiple cities and converging on one destination, which is like further in the trial thing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And that was first founded in 1911. And the rallies start to like emphasize navigation and like mechanical sympathy rather than just batter and fuck out of it, because you need to be able to make it to the end of your track. Like you're having to balance like outright speed and not battering your car to death. Like you need to make it to the end, but you need to make it to the end quick enough, quicker than the other guy, if that makes sense.
Oh no, absolutely. Yeah, it is totally that strategic balance of like going fast enough to win, but not too fast that you put shitloads of stress on the car and it breaks.
Precisely. And this is the sort of era where you're in a place mechanically where a bit of mechanical sympathy is going to get you a long fucking way.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the vehicle's simpler to fix.
Yes, that's true. And I mean, the thing is as well, like at this time, like the cars ranged from like touring saloons, like just normal cars, to like luxury machines like Bentleys and that sort of shit. Like a
Mm-hmm.
oh fuck, what would it be? Like a Bentley supercharged 8, I think is one of them. Um,
Do you know, just honest, again, a totally random thing, but you know, we've talked briefly in the past about automation, the game where you could design your own car and such.
yes.
So there's a German automation YouTuber who did a sort of like competition, a road rally competition, where he set various class criteria and you could build a car that met that criteria, submit it, and then he ran the race with all of them, and you know, you got like your standings, if you know what I mean.
Right. Yeah.
And I decided I'd give it a go. So
Oh,
like
cool.
I made a little car, and you got there was like two criteria of judgment. It was like how like good the car looked and how then the ultimate race kind of performance. So like I went for a fairly low CC capacity and made like I can't remember if I made a three pot or a V8. It was like it's like a 1 liter three engine. I made so many different varieties of motor that all had basically the same performance, no matter what configuration I used. So I just kind of I think I went for like a three pot maybe in the end. Um, but yeah, like I designed the car and like submitted it, and then when it came to like the race thing, you were like you know kind of tiered in all of your different criteria based on where you came,
Yeah.
and I managed to be bang average every single fucking time.
Really.
Yeah, there wasn't that many cars in my class, but every single checkpoint I was bang in the middle. I
That's
made,
quite cool.
I made the most bang average car in its class. It was good fun though. It was nice to have like an actual purpose to like design something too. Like a set of criteria. There's nothing that's like more fun than like trying to maximize like performance out of like quite a strict criteria.
Yeah. You know, automation's on my Steam wish list. Like, I'd be up for trying that when I pick it up.
Oh yeah, man. I'm sure I've probably got the rules kicking about somewhere. And you can pit yours against mine.
Fair play, man. That sounds quite cool, actually.
Yeah, sorry. That's my
No,
experience of road rallies. They're really cool. I actually really like a road rally. And when you were talking about like engineering between like performance and reliability, like that was one of the things that came up. Is you had to make sure your car it had to meet a particular reliability criteria.
right. That's cool. Like as well, it's quite a hard thing to quantify as well. So it's cool that they've put that into a game where you're basically designing cars. That's really fucking smart.
Yeah, man,
So
it's
is that.
constantly been updated as well. I think you can do twin charging now.
Yes, I'm all about that. No, that's cool. Um, yeah, man. I'll need to get automation downloaded and Beam and give that a go at some point because that does sound fucking smart.
Totally, you can play Beam multiplayer as well, and your computer will definitely handle Beam.
Yeah. No, I've actually downloaded a. Fuck, we're getting like we're obsessed with fucking video games now, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's been winter. It's a lot easier to sit inside and play video games at winter.
That's fair. That's fair. Um, right. Aye, no, fuck it. I'm gonna get this out of the way. So I was watching the Dragon Ball Z thing, not Dragon Ball Z. Fuck me, the Gundam, um, Requiem for Revenge series on Netflix, and it's fucking incredible. Like, give it a go, even if it's not your cup of tea, you might like it. And
Is
it
it
got me
anime?
looking at, eh?
Is it anime?
No, it's like actual computer animation. This one, it's not like an anime.
Oh,
Like,
I get you. Yeah, it's I totally see why you watch this.
and it's really fucking good, man. Like, actually phenomenal. And it got me looking at Bandai Namco games, and there's Dragon Ball Z Fighter Z on sale at the minute. It was £75, reduced to 11 quid. And I was like, Ken, what? I'm going to buy that. And it's actually fantastically good fun.
Nice.
Like, fucking incredible gameplay. Um, anyway, in the 1920s to 1930s,
Smooth.
I don't think they noticed the cutaway. So rallies now like growing, and you see this like this is actually quite common. So like this is after the First World War at this point, and it really does grow and it gets pushed. And I think you've got loads of people returning from war, and they're like, need something to actually keep me busy and something to do. And you see these booms in like you see it in the 40s and 50s of people like pushing further and faster with cars and motorsport. And you see it a bit here. So it starts growing into a sport of like exploration with events like crossing borders and mountain passes, and it becomes it's gaining a lot of traction, you know.
Hmm.
Monte Carlo Rally becomes the flagship event. It's attracting international competitors and media attention,
Hmm.
and navigation's rising right to the top of like being a key skill. So like crews are relying on maps, compasses, and intuition. So they're like just being good at reading a map isn't good enough. Like you need to be able to plot the fastest course and like almost look ahead and see where the fucking bottlenecks are going to be and try and cut them out.
Hmm.
And the big thing here is that manufacturers start to see rallying as a marketing tool for reliability and endurance. And this is one of the turning points is at this point. Um, then again, so 1940s, 1950s, you start to see after World War II, the rallying returns and it's stronger. There's better roads and more capable cars. And this is where you get events like the RAC Rally, which is in the UK, the Safari Rally in Kenya, which was founded in 1953. They both emerge as like iconic endurance tests. The Safari Rally becomes legendary for like brutal terrain and extremes of weather, and the sport starts shifting at this point from like gentlemen amateurs, like the good old boys or the enthusiasts,
Yeah.
to factory supported teams.
So is the Safari Rally the one where there's the iconic, like kind of beige Land Rover with Safari written with like the green kind of Safari logo? Hold on. Is that rally?
Yeah, so like this is like the Safari rallies like spawn so many special editions. Like you've got the WRC special edition Impreza in the classic shape from like the 90s. It was like the Safari. It came with like gravel wheels and like a bull bar on the front of it, and it came with like steel underplates for garden, like the sump and everything. Like
Mm-hmm.
there's so many things that have came out of it, like, and it's always been like a staple of rally games as well, like the Safari Rally or the Africa Kenya stages. Just fantastic fun.
Sorry, man. I was thinking of the Camel Rally, which makes
Ah,
sense
fair
because it's a
enough.
camel livery on the Land Rover.
Fair enough. Um, yeah, no, like the one that always sticks out to me is the Subaru, but that's because it's fucking rally and Subaru's like the daddy, you know. But like, there's loads of like photos of red minis with white roofs with
Mm-hmm.
Safari, and it's got like the Safari badge on the front. You see lots of that as well, although not at this point because we're fucking a couple of years before the Mini was even a thing. Um, the next one's 1953, which this is one of the big ones. So the FIA gets involved at this point, and this is their first attempt to like unify major rallies under a point system.
Okay, cool. So like bring like a kind of a proper scoring system in.
Yeah, so basically, you have what was the European Rally Championship, or the ERC. And like I say, this was the first attempt to unify rallies under a point system. ERC becomes the proving ground for drivers and manufacturers, and also for formats that would later influence the WRC. Cars are becoming more specialised with early performance modifications and quite a heavy duty tuning culture emerging around it. And then what we would sort of interpret as the first modern rallying in the 1960s. So 1960s, it's the stage rallying, timed special stages on closed roads. This is where you start to see WRC forming, but it's not there yet.
Hmm. And this is crucially like these stages are shorter than like the big massive like city to city rallies.
Yeah, so now you're seeing sort of where you would run. You go out in the morning from the, we'll call it base, from base. You would do 3 or 4 stages, and then you would go to engineering, and you would have a short amount of time to like fix your car, and then you would do another 2 or 3 stages in the afternoon, and then you go back to the base, and
Hmm.
like that's a day's rally, or that's a weekend's rally even. Um, so this is where you start seeing that format coming out, where it's you've got scrutineering, you've got repairs being made, and then you've got more rallying after it. So you like get scrutineered, you start rallying, you go in to your engineering, and then you fix what breaks, and then after that you continue on. Um, and it's really it's the first time when you start seeing that format arriving. Um,
Which is kind of
Monty,
what
oh
we'd
sorry, go on.
recognize now in rally.
Yeah, like I mean, this is when you're seeing the likes of your Ford Escorts, your classic minis, Saabs and Lancias. This is when like what people actually see as like, oh fuck, that was a rally car, or
Hmm.
they had rally cars of those. That's when this is what you're seeing now, which is like the stratospheric rise of like the Ford Escort in Europe, the Mark One, Mark Two, where it was just untouchable. Um, and you've got like Monte Carlo and Safari, which are still key iconic rallies, but then you've got the sorts of like the Thousand Lakes in Finland are starting to gain global prestige as well. You've got manufacturers like I said, Ford, Mini, Saab, Lancia are starting to invest heavily in rally programs. And you've got early legends starting to show at the time, like Eric Carlson, Timo Mäkinen. Oh, I'm going to mispronounce this guy's name. Rauno Altonen. If I've mispronounced that, I apologise. Cars are becoming lighter and faster, more agile, and it's setting the stage for what you're going to see is like really high performance coming out.
Mm. Yeah, totally. This is that time where it gets as the stage is shortened, the driving becomes, quite fast.
Yeah, and really the shortening of the stages, because you're not having to do like a solid 18 hours of driving now, you're shortening them down to like a 7, 8 minute stage. You can now have like you don't have the driver fatigue the same, so you can now send it at like 12 out of 10. for 7 minutes across a 20-minute stage, and the drivers aren't totally fucked. Like, it really set the stage for the intensification of the attempts, you know?
Yeah, totally. Which I imagine really changed the role of the navigator, of your co-pilot. It's gone from, reading maps, reading the terrain, and judging the best way to go to frantically reading out pace notes.
Precisely. And the thing is, everyone is faster with good pace notes.
Mm-hmm. Like,
Um,
honestly, rally's such an interesting motorsport because it really relies heavily on like teamwork between two people in the car. Like,
yeah,
one probably not really watching the road and reading from notes and getting the timing right, and one person basically reacting to that,
like
driving the car.
that's it. Like, because the thing is as well, like this is an anecdote, but many many moons ago when I was like 18, 19, one of my friends had a Toyota Avensis, and there was four of us, four up in the Avensis. It was called Wendy, right? Because the number plate read Wendy. Simple as that.
Fair
But
enough,
like
yeah.
we were out in the back roads round about Dumfries and Galloway, and there was two guys in the back who were quite husky dudes, we'll say, and they were like shimmying from side to side because we were going that fast and we're trying to distribute their weight better. So they were shimmying from one side of the car to the other, and I was in the front pretending to be a fucking co-driver, and I was like legitimately like reading pace notes, like over crest 70, into turn left 7 or left 5, and I was like, one's like totally shallow, 5 is a hairpin. He's like, right, no problem. And he got so much faster when I started doing pace notes, and I was just looking so like right far ahead of him as well. Like, I was looking as far ahead as possible, and he was just driving. And honestly, unbelievable the pace that we picked up. Like, we were absolutely flying. I don't think anyone would have caught us that day. Um, totally irresponsible, but quite an interesting anecdote for that.
Yeah, I think it frees up, like when you're getting told exactly what's coming, in a way it kind of frees up that part of your brain that's like trying to look, analyze, decipher, and plan. You can just bypass that and you can go straight to plan,
Yeah,
taking some of that mental burden off. Um, because yeah, no, like when you are understanding pace notes properly and you're following their instructions, just like on trust, you can get much quicker.
precisely. That's it. And like, I mean, we were just four idiots in a car, but we proved the point that sharing that mental load makes you unbelievably faster. Like, it was actually terrifying how fast we ended up going. Like, we were pretty gnarly dudes back then, and both of us turned around and went, we're gonna have to stop because somebody's gonna get hurt here. Like, um, yeah, but the point stands that pace notes make you faster if they're good pace notes. Um, which actually kind of brings us quite neatly to the early 70s. Um, so you've got the ERC currently going on, which was formed in '53, and by the early '70s, rallying is really popular, but it's also really fragmented. So there's different rule sets, there's different formats, there's several different championships operating across Europe and beyond. And the FIA wants a unified global championship to bring consistency and prestige into it. You know, they're really chasing this becoming like a professional, organized thing. And one of the really big drivers for that is manufacturer involvement. So when it
Mm.
gets unified, the investment from manufacturers explodes. So in 1973, the World Rally Championship for manufacturers is launched, and it's got the most iconic rallies on the planet. So you gain your Monte Carlo, Safari, Finland, Sweden, all these places that are just iconic rally stages, all are in being folded into this. And it's important to note as well, it doesn't appear out of nowhere. This is like the culmination of 80 years plus, you know,
Mm-hmm.
of evolution of us of from essentially that first race in Paris Room 1894. So that's where you're arriving at here.
The kind of the corporatization and commercialization of the rally.
Yeah. And that's it. And it's really is fucking boom.
So
And
what manufacturers are kind of like getting into the sport at this time?
so at this point, you've got, well, I mean, pretty much everyone, man. I mean, Lancia, Ford, Opel, or Vauxhall, depending on your bent there. Alpine,
Mm.
Peugeot. I mean, pretty much every European manufacturer. I mean, even Porsche in the early years was rallying. You know,
Would that be
like
with the 911?
yeah, air-cooled Porsches were rally cars as well.
I love how
Uh,
Porsche have used the 911 for pretty much every form of motorsport.
yeah, they're like, do you know what it is? I kind of really do like it because it's like we're not going to make something for it. We're just going to batter this thing we already have into it and make it work.
We made one car. Does
Yeah.
everything.
And you know what though, right? Arguably, it was fucking successful at everything.
Yeah, yeah. I
Like,
mean, they made the they've made multiple Dakar 911s actually.
yeah. Like, I mean, the Dakar was a big one for them, certainly. Um, where the fucking hell's that just went? Sorry, I've just lost my page. There we go. We're getting it back now. So yeah, I mean, you had like the Alpine A110,
Mm-hmm.
1973. Loads and loads of iconic, really cool fucking cars. Um,
The bar, the what is it,
Arbath,
151,
yeah,
131?
yeah. Again, you had Lancia with like the Fulva.
Mm. The 037, which I think was a bit later actually.
Yeah. Aye, that would have been that was Group B. You're jumping ahead.
Oh, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. I love the 037.
The 037 was gorgeous. You had like the Escort RS 1800 as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, like this is really cool stuff. This is where I really get into it now. So the first ever rally, um, a single manufacturers championship. So it took all the world's major rallies and folded them into a single manufacturers championship. Sorry, and it launched with the Rally Monte Carlo as the opening round, and it featured 13 events across multiple continents. Um, the crews faced endurance style distances with wildly inconsistent conditions. So, like, it was like you would be going from the desert to Swedish forests and snow, like it crazy, crazy conditions, and from one extreme to the other. And it made reliability as important as outright speed, which is it's like an actual overarching theme across rallying is that reliability has to be there. Um, so you see homologation becoming a thing as well. So like key
Mm.
characteristics, you had like production based cars with limited modifications, and it was reliability over power. But the key thing is production based cars. Um, the inaugural championship winner was a guy called Sandro Minari. He became one of the first major rally stars, and notable cars were like Lancia Stratos, the RS 1800, the Fulvia, the A110. and it became the defining moments for it were like the Monte Carlo Safari Rally and the RAC Rally, which actually kept its name inside the WRC.
Oh, that's interesting. I wonder where that was.
I think it's like a kind of nod to the heritage, yeah.
I mean, the Monte Carlo Rally seems to have kept its name as well. Just like it's the Monte Carlo Rally as like the first stage of something.
Yeah, like, and the thing is as well, like I kind of like that because they've never changed it because they're like, oh well, it's being folded into something. They've always kept that link to the history, like Monte Carlo, RAC Rally, the Safari Rally, because they could call it Rally Kenya, but they call it Safari
Mm.
Rally. I like that. Um, it's really cool that outlook where they're like, we need to keep in touch with what actually created WRC. We can't just fucking bang it off. That's stupid. So it is. And yeah, so the first one covered 4 continents in 14 countries. And it was everything from intense cold to rock strewn mountain passes in blistering heat, which really cool.
Yeah,
Like
that is crazy. It's quite Europe heavy,
very Europe heavy.
but you do a lot of variety in Europe. Like Portugal to Sweden, it's quite a big difference.
Yeah, there's like it's gonna keep you on your toes,
I definitely.
you know.
I really like
Um,
that about rally though, that it's you have to build a car that is capable of handling various environments, like the extreme heat and extreme cold are like, you know, that's quite interesting.
yeah, I mean, for an idea, so I'll go through like the calendar of the first rally. I'm not going to do this with all of them because it'll take us all fucking day. But so you had the Rally Monte Carlo, which was a mixed surface, which was tarmac and snow. Then you have the Swedish Rally, which is snow, and you have the Rally Portugal, which is tarmac gravel.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have Safari Rally, the Rally de Maroc, the Acropolis Rally, the Rally Polski or Raj Polski. I can't pronounce that. Sorry. The Thousand Lakes Rally, and then this Osterreich Alpenfahrt Rally, and they're all on gravel. But what you like? So if you look at Rally Finland, which is Thousand Lakes, and Rally Greece, which is Acropolis Rally, just saying they're both gravel doesn't really cut it
Yeah,
because
yeah. There's different kinds of gravel.
there really is different types of gravel. Like, and then you've got after that you had Rally San Marero Remo, which is Italian, which is a tarmac gravel. Then you had Press On Regardless Rally in America, the RAC Rally, and then the Tour de Course, which was gravel tarmac. So you had 13 events in 14 countries running from January to December throughout the year across an unbelievable amount of surfaces and conditions and everything else. Like, and the Alpine 110 fucking dominated a lot of this.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm not surprised though. Have you looked at some of the competition?
yeah, like I mean, RS 1600 Escorts, Toyota Corolla, Volvo 124S, a Datsun 240Z, which that's the American ones, which had quite a wide um, variety of cars. Then you had like BMW 2002 Ti's,
Mm-hmm.
Saab 96s, the V4, a Polski Fiat, which was a Polish Fiat,
I
funnily
like
enough.
how the RAC rally in '73 was all about that Ford Escort.
Yeah, it was like it's very much. And I mean, for an idea of how fast these guys are going, so like if you look at the first one, Rally Monte Carlo, the guy that came in first in a Renault Alpine, well, an Alpine Renault Alpine, I suppose, it was 5 hours 42 minutes and 4 seconds across 18 stages, and that covered 456.5 kilometers. 278 people started, 51 made it to the end. Like,
That's quite a high attrition rate.
the attrition is insane, you know? So yeah, that's like what you're kind of looking at here. This is why rally's so amazing. It's so versatile and just fucking crazy. But Tom, the crazy stuff's about to come now.
All right. Yes. Yeah. Actually, yes.
So
It is about to. It is about to hit the fan here.
we're now going by my notes anyway. I mean, I'm not going over each year's rally. That would take far too long. But now we're in the Group B era. So 82 to 86. Infamous, I think, is the best way to describe Group B.
Yeah. Probably.
Um,
Probably. Yeah.
so insane speed, insane speed, and absolutely inhuman amounts of danger. So really, Group B regulations, they allowed for just a fantastic recipe, which was lightweight, lots of power, massive turbos, and often four-wheel drive with minimal restrictions. There was not a lot of restriction in, like, the freedom in design was radical, is one way of putting it.
So, what were the restrictions? That is it? They just didn't necessarily have to make that many road going versions.
So the homologation was quite light. It wasn't really all that restrictive at all. Neither it was. I mean, it was really open. Like, this was an era where you had the Lancia 037 and the Audi Quattro running
Mm-hmm.
against each other, which is two totally different sides of the coin as far as rally cars are concerned. It's actually a fantastic film as well.
Oh,
Um,
really?
yeah, there's an amazing film, absolutely fantastic film about Lancia versus Audi,
Oh, I shall have to give
and
that a watch for sure.
it's on Netflix, so it is.
Wait, is it?
Yeah, it is. So, Group B, right, in 1982, here's a rough idea of. So, there was a maximum engine capacity, a minimum weight, and a maximum tyre width, right? So, if you wanted to have a 4-litre engine, your minimum weight had to be 1,100 kilograms, and your maximum tyre width was 12 inches.
Wait a minute. I need to convert the tire width into metric.
360 mil.
That's quite generous, like.
That's a big tyre.
Big
But
tire.
but you remember, this is a turbocharged engine in the wildest group of rally that ever was created, and you only weigh 1,100 kilograms, and you've got a 4-litre engine to make power with.
Yeah, I mean, they were really quick.
Yeah. If forced induction is present, restrictions apply though. So the engine capacity is 1.4 times its actual value. So if you have a 2-litre with a turbo on it, no, if you have a 1-litre with a turbo on it, it actually counts as a 1.4.
Oh, okay.
And if it's a Wankel rotary engine, giggity, it's twice the volume determined between the maximum and minimum capacity of the combustion chamber.
Okay, so 1 liter would be 2 liter.
Um, Not quite that simple. It would
Okay.
actually probably be something like a 2.6 liter.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's quite a heavy penalty.
That really
Um,
is, yeah. Did that
and then yeah,
kind of shut Wankel engines out of rally?
yes, pretty much. I don't know of any that were in Group B actually. I don't think Mazda was in it, and I don't think Mercedes was in it because those are the two kind of people that are like rotary engined up. Um, so for an example of what you got in Group B, you could have a naturally aspirated 4 liter engine or a supercharged or turbocharged engine of 2.8 liters
I mean, I
with
know
a
what I'd pick.
yeah, so do I.
If I had to get big power, I'd be picking the forced induction.
Absolutely. But then
Did
you're
anyone run in the 4 liter category?
yeah, fourth.
Oh, actually, okay, fair.
Well, I mean, in that category, you had the Ferrari 288 GTO.
Oh, I forgot about that. Oh, what a car.
You had the Porsche 959. Then you had stuff like the Audi Quattro, the Lancia 037, the MG Metro 6R4, the Ford RS 2000. Then you had stuff like the Peugeot 205 T16,
Mm-hmm.
Lancia Delta S4, and then you had stuff like Renault 5 turbos. So like all the absolute fucking hooligan cars, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I mean, like the Audi Quattro redefined rally performance. I don't like fucking Audi. I hate the fucking company, but their 4 wheel drive does work, you know.
It does, and the car, the package, like the body kit that they put on that thing is
It,
so cool.
it's
I'm a huge fan of that. I think it looks fantastic.
oh yeah, like it's cool as fuck. Like I would have an Audi Quattro. I have, I it's heretical for me to say that, but I would have one. Um, I mean, Delta S4, Peugeot 205 T16. I mean, I would give my left nut for one of those. Um, just fantastic, fantastic bits of kit. Like
So, what do you think is your favorite kind of the Group B era?
037 Lancia.
The 037 is really nice.
I would, out of all of them, I would have an 037 in a heartbeat because I think it would make a fantastic road car as well.
Oh, it would be wild. I mean, it's probably quite, if you put like grippy tires in it, it's probably got quite a lot of road grip because of those massive fat rears.
Well, because Lancia were already designing they'd basically finished designing the 037 as a rear-wheel drive mid-engine car when Audi came out with the Quattro, and they're like, "This is a fucking disaster. We'll withdraw from rallying." And one of the guys was like, "No, fuck that. We just won't run dirt rallies. We're only going to run tarmac rallies, and we'll beat them." And they did, because the Audi Quattro, like, you don't struggle for grip on tarmac, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the advantage is kind of is
So
nullified.
they were running with a weight penalty and a
Hmm.
complexity penalty. And what Lancia did was like, well, we'll just beat them at their own game. We'll only race them on tarmac, and it worked for them as well. Um, but yeah, no,
They
the
didn't enter
film's really
events
good.
that were in tarmac.
Yeah, they didn't enter gravel events, for example, because they're like, well, Audi will win. There's no fucking point. But we'll enter all the tarmac events and slap them, and they did, which
Yeah, I
is
mean,
such
yeah, you would totally pick the 037 over the Quattro for anything on the road.
definitely. And then you've got some legendary drivers coming out of this as well. So you've got like Walter Roll, Hanu Mikkola, Ari Vatanen, and Henry Toivonen. Um, Again, this is kind of a bit before my time, so I don't really recognise the drivers as much. Like Ari Vatanen, I've heard of, but the other ones don't really get me. And like the defining rallies, Finland, Rally Portugal, and Rally France, or Tour de Course, they're like the ones that start to define Group B. Like that's where everybody's like, oh, remember that. And unfortunately, Group B was also a bit of a turning point
Yeah.
because there was a series of fatal accidents, and basically this was um, essentially you had massive increase in power levels, which corresponded to a massive increase in speed, and then you had a lot of fatal accidents involving spectators and the like, and a lot of drivers dying, which meant it was abruptly cancelled by the FIA in 1986. Um,
I think we need to kind of talk about rally and spectating rally a little bit here because rally has always been one of those motorsports where you can get right up close, but there
yes,
was never really that sort of like. I mean, I suppose it's kind of the nature of the game in a way because like you're rallying along like a kind of isolated track. It's hard to police the whole of it. Like you can stop people getting in at a racing circuit because it's enclosed, but like when you're just going like through desert, it's difficult to kind of police that. So people would always just kind of stand, get a good vantage position and stand. But like people have no sense of self preservation. So there's like really a lot of fantastic video of like the crowd parting to let a rally car speeding at them through. Because
yeah.
people they would crane further and further into the track to get like a view of the car coming.
And like you see the videos of people standing in the middle of the road with a camera, like,
Absolutely, yeah.
and they take the photo and then sprint out the way, and it's just like, what the fuck are you doing?
It's crazy,
Uh,
genuinely crazy watching some of that stuff. And like obviously people would congregate on corners, which is where, things could go wrong in a big way,
yeah,
especially with Group B. So yeah, it was like basically it was a case of when, not if.
yeah. And I mean, two of the big high profile ones. So in March of '86, during the Safari Rally in Portugal, Joaquim Santos lost control of his car and crashed into a crowd, and it resulted in the deaths of two children and a woman, and injuries to 30 other people.
Ooh.
The beginning of the end, that one.
That's a bad one.
It is. And then one of the guys that was widely regarded as a pretty incredible driver in Group B, so there was Henry Toyovin, sorry, and Sergio Cresto on the 2nd of May during the rally in Portugal. The Delta S4 that Toivonen was driving crashed. It resulted in the death of Toivonen and his co-driver Cresto, and this is the accident that led to Group B cars being banned in the '87 season. So like that's like those are the two that led up to it, which is
Mm,
horrific. Like nobody wants this thing that everybody's enjoying to take anybody. Like that's not why people are into motorsport. Um, but unfortunately, things happen when you're going very fast. Um, but it doesn't make it any better. So that led to Group B's cancellation, and the FIA pivoted towards what is basically this is us getting to almost what certainly what mine and your generation will remember most about. Well, our generation. I don't know why I fucking singled us out because we're the same fucking generation. What our generation would recognise as rallying, which is Group A.
mm-hmm.
So required closer ties to road cars. It was the age of the turbocharged four-wheel drive saloon. Um, where Subaru, Mitsubishi, and Toyota were the three big players. So now your cars had to be homologated to 5,000 units or more. Much more restrictive rule set, but safer cars. And this is where you saw like the Lancia Delta Integrale, the Impreza, the Evolution, and the likes of the Toyota Celica. And it's also where we start to see drivers that are more of a household name, I would say. So the likes of Carlos Sainz.
Senior.
Uh, sorry?
Carlos Sainz Senior.
Yes, senior. Sorry, I wondered what you said. I was like, senior? Who the fuck's senior?
I
It's like,
was
oh, no,
no, I
yes,
was just saying
Sainz Senior.
it's the senior one. It's not the F1 driver. It's the senior one.
Yes, it's the senior one. It's the rally guy. The guy who's responsible for the ST185 GT4 special edition Celica, actually. Um, Tommy Mäkinen, who is of Mitsubishi Lancer fame.
Mm.
And again, like Rally Argentina, so again, there's more countries being added in. You're getting more events. But Argentina, Greece, and the RAC Rally are like defining Group A rallies essentially. At this point as well, do you know anything about how the points system in rallying works?
No, I've played rally games, but I usually ignore the points as long as mine are bigger.
Fair enough. Well, if you come, so there's the overall classification, right? So it redefined the point system in 2025.
Okay.
So it was aimed at enhancing competition while ensuring rally winners are more likely to claim the biggest haul of points. Um, so general classification of points awarded at the end of a rally would follow a simplified scale, rewarding the top 10 finishers.
Okay.
Um, no points would be no points would be allocated based on a driver's Saturday position. So if you came first, you get 25 points.
Mm-hmm.
Second, you get 17. Third, you get 15. Fourth, 12. Fifth, 10. Sixth, 8. Seventh, 6. Eighth, 4. Ninth, 2. And 10th, you get 1 point.
Okay.
And then you also got a separate classification for all of Sunday's stage awards. So on a Super Sunday, you get another layer of drama with additional points on offer based on individual classification on the final day's stages only. So it's like a short, intense sprint within the rally itself.
Okay.
So if you come first, you get 5 points. And if you come fifth, you get 1 point. And the points go up and like so second gets 4, third gets 3.
Yeah, yeah, no, I totally get you. So yeah, it's just like a short event that gives you bonus points.
Yeah, but then there's some modifiers on top of that.
Oh, right, okay.
So you get the Wolf Power Stage, which is concluding each rally. You basically get bonus points are awarded to the top 5 performance based on their times in the stage, and it's first place gets 5 points, fifth place gets 1 point, and they go up and down the same as the other ones. So the perfect score for each rally is 35 points. So you get the 25 for coming first, 5 for the Powerwolf, and 5 for the Sunday.
Okay, I see that, yeah. So
Which
it
is,
it gives like people who are fast on one stage, but not necessarily all of them, can get some points.
yes, which it very much does. It pushes you to come first because that's where the fucking daddy level of points is,
Ah, totally.
but it punishes you if you're not first. So like the structure is of a rally. You start with 2 days reconnaissance in which drivers and co-drivers practice the route at limited speed to make pace notes. The recce is then followed by a morning shakedown, a full speed test which allows competitors to fine tune their car's setup. The rally then starts that night, usually with like a short fan favourite stage in a stadium or through the streets of a host town. The competition then continues for 3 days, usually starting on a Thursday, before ending on a Sunday lunchtime with the rally closing power stage. Um, so that offers the bonus 5 points to the 5 fastest drivers. So then you get your service park as well. So you visit the service park at a predetermined time to allow team techs onto the car. There's 3 service sessions in a day. So before the morning before the opening stage, you get an initial 15-minute visit. Then you get a 40-minute service park session midway through a day's competition. And then at the end of the day, you get a 45-minute window in which the cars are pre-prepared for the following day.
Mm-hmm.
So it's tightly governed, like you're timed as soon as you go in, and there's time penalties applied for if you exceed the allotted time in service.
Mm-hmm. And that's stage time penalties, not service time penalties.
Yes.
So yeah, the incentive is get your work done
Quickly.
quickly. Don't cause too much
And
damage to the car so there's not that much work to do.
precisely. And at the end of each day's competition, cars are held in a secure park overnight. There's no access to team members or competitors.
Yeah,
So, and then outside of a service park, only the driver and co-driver can work on their car, and only using tools and spares carried on board.
which obviously you don't want to carry too many spares on board because that's weight.
Precisely. And you get penalties incurred for competitors who arrive late at control points and, for example, special stage starts or the entrance and exits to the service park. So if you're late, you get a time penalty. Um, and
Which is kind of punishing because, if you have a big problem and can't make it to the control point on time, you get another penalty.
oh yeah,
In addition to being slow.
precisely. And then you've got retirements. So you've got competitors who retire due to mechanical incidents and accidents may restart the following day as long as their car is safe. But for every special stage missed following retirement, competitors incur a 10-minute penalty to be added to the fastest stage time recorded by a crew in their technical category, which is savage.
Yeah, that is quite bad.
Um,
10
which
minutes is harsh.
that's a long fucking time.
You can go quite far in 10 minutes.
You can't even at like road pace. You can go a long way in 10 minutes. So that's like the 2025. That's like the most recent ones, but I'll reverse a wee bit. So we've kind of covered Group A a little bit there.
Mm-hmm.
Then you've got World Rally Car Era 1, which is like 97 to 2016.
Okay.
Um, and these are the ones I remember like watching with my granddad on like ITV and stuff.
Aye.
So 97, the FIA introduces the World Rally Car Formula, which it allows more freedom than Group A, but still being based on production shells. So the car shell and the silhouette has to be production, essentially. So this saw the rise of like modern aerodynamics, active differentials, and like super teams, which are like manufacturer backed with all the bells and whistles, the most advanced electronics, the bespoke components, wider tracks, the most aero, everything. Um, so like notable cars, you had like the Citroen Zara, the DS3.
Was that the red one?
Yes, that's the one that Sebastian Loeb absolutely fucking dominated in.
Mm-hmm. That's very much an iconic rally car, like.
It really is. Then you had like the white Ford Focus WRC. Obviously your Subaru Imprezas, your Evos, and your Volkswagen Polo R WRC, which meh. Um,
And
but yeah,
also the Impreza.
the Impreza, yeah, like the Impreza is just the standout for me. I love an Impreza. Um, so this era kind of sees one of the greats, Colin McRae, sadly leaving everyone through the fucking medium of a helicopter crash, which I'm not sure anybody really saw coming.
No, totally not. I
Um,
actually I meant to say earlier, we haven't really talked too much about co-drivers, but like I did remember listening to a an interview with Nikki Grist,
oh
who was
yeah,
Colin McRae's co-driver, and it was really really good. I've no idea what I listened to it on, or frankly when, but he talked about like his time as co-driver to McRae, but also kind of more widely like the role of being a co-driver, and it was really really good. I'm sure googling his name and podcast would probably find it, to be honest.
yeah,
But it was really really good. It's a more interesting job, and it's more involved, and it's very like it's a very precise role as well, which I didn't really fully appreciate it until I heard it, so it was really interesting. That gets a recommendation from me.
that is cool, man. I'll give that a look up, so I will. Um, yeah, because like it's an often overlooked role. Like just how important they are in going fast is unbelievable. Like if you didn't have co-drivers, I think rally would be a very different sport.
Yes, no, it definitely would.
Um, actually, this is an interesting thing. So, like, I remember Sebastian Loeb was the most dominant driver in WRC history. By the way, he
Oh,
won 9 consecutive titles,
wow.
which is quite something. And I remember watching an interview with him, and he was like, "My secret is that I don't approach this like like I don't approach gravel or tarmac differently." He says, "I just make the car drive the same on all of them." Um, like he was talking about it, and he's like the way I approach like a corner on gravel is the same way as I approach a corner on tarmac. He says my notes don't really change between surfaces. He says I just drive, and I was like, that's actually incredible. Um, I remember watching it as like a 14-year-old, being like, holy fuck, that's mental.
Just say
Um,
no to changing
yeah,
conditions.
he's
Just
just
say
like,
no.
no, I don't care. Um, and then
That's
there
that's
was,
such a bold answer to that question. Like, why are you so fast? Like, I just treat everything the same. It's all the same in the
yeah,
end, isn't
it's like I just do what I need to do. Don't fucking win. Don't worry about it. Like, okay, cool.
it?
It's very much the era of the Sebastians as well, because a guy called Sebastian Ogier, I'm probably massacring the pronunciation of that name, would later become the defining driver of the 2010s. Um, I'm not sure how many. I didn't look up. If I'm totally honest, how many titles he won, but he did become very much definitive in after Loeb's dominance. Um, and I mean, again, the likes of it's expanding again. So you had Rally Australia, Rally Mexico, Rally Sweden. Finland stays like as an absolute um, just core like fantastic stage rally. Again, after that, like 2017, 2021, you start seeing this World Rally Car Era 2, and it was the first major regulation refresh. So they became wider, more powerful, more aggressive, with quite dramatic um, aero packages. And these were the fastest cars ever seen in rallying. Like, these were fucking unbelievably fast.
Not so familiar with many of the rally ones, I don't think.
Well, I mean, now you're looking at like the Ford Fiesta WRC, which was campaigned by M Sport just down the road from me in Cumbria. The Toyota Yaris WRC, the Hyundai
Mm,
i20 Coupe. So extensive aero, much
I know the ones now. Yeah, they're like,
they're rapid.
and they look aggressive. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Like you're talking really extensive aero freedom here. Like pretty much what you would imagine, well, what Formula One was when there was no aero restrictions. It was like, go fucking nuts, you know? Um, Dramatic stage speeds, and the power increased to about 380 brake horsepower, which isn't a lot, you know? Your car with a remap will make more than that.
But it's all there, you know. It's
Yes,
right there in a car that isn't really necessarily designed to go that quick. Like, you know, in the scheme of how fast cars can go, but it's designed to get there very, very quickly and stay there for as long as possible.
precisely. And like the thing is as well, 380 brake, but with literally all the torque, because these are restricted through an air restrictor on the turbo. Now, just to give you an idea of what you're looking at for a rally car here, so you're talking a 5-speed sequential gearbox, 1180 kilograms in weight, with a space frame chassis, 370 to 380 brake horsepower, 0 to 60 in under 4 seconds, over 200 kilometers per hour top speed, suspension and brakes that were injected with steroids as small children before they matured, and 100% fossil free fuel.
Oh, so do they also use a sort of synthetic fuel?
Yes.
So it's so strange that F1 hasn't really moved. Well, has F1 moved on to that? And they still have a hybrid system. I'm unsure on that. But yeah, it's crazy how popular synthetic fuel is in motorsport.
Ah, well, it's funny you say that. Funny you say that. Well, in this era, so 2017, 21,
Mm-hmm.
um, Ogier continued his dominance, and you had guys Ott Tanaka and Kali Rovanpera were starting to come in as like major forces as well. Um, and these guys are like coming in and just fucking cleaning up. So you're seeing like a changing of the old guard, you know, like the guys that we were really big with in like Group A and early 2000s, 2010s, when like it was on the telly, are getting pushed out, and the newer guys are coming through, which is always really good for the sport, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Definitely.
Rally Estonia returns to the calendar, and Rally Chile as well. So you're getting a lot of places in South America as well at this point, like Argentina, Chile, etc. Now, this brings us to the present day, which is known as the current era, known as Rally 1, and it introduced hybrid powertrains.
A classic.
Yep. With simplified, safety focused tubular chassis. The aim was to modernise the sport while reducing costs and improving sustainability. So the plug-in hybrid units, 100 kilowatt boost, which is quite a lot.
Yeah, it's
Simplify
quite a lot.
that is a lot. Like, I mean, 100 kilowatts
Is it like about
is
130 horse?
140. 1400 brake horsepower is 1 megawatt. So yeah, about 140 brake horsepower as a boost.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. You would notice that on a 370 odd horsepower car, like.
Fucking right, you would. It's almost half your power again. Um,
Just on a
and I
side note, do you
mean,
know what would be really funny?
what's that?
Is to give a very, very low power car a ridiculous electric motor boost that was
Yeah,
deployable. So you got like, you know, like a 50 horsepower motor. It's just slow and sluggish, but then you got like 200 kilowatts of deployable electric power.
fuck aye. That would be
You
terrifying.
could make a race out of it where you don't actually get to deploy it yourself. It's just randomly deployed.
Yeah, that'd be quite interesting. I quite like that.
Yeah, that sounds quite good fun, doesn't it?
It really does.
Like a little Citroen C1 that can all of a sudden out of nowhere have like go from 50 to 300 odd horsepower, but you don't get to
Fucking hell.
decide.
Yeah, the fans get to decide through an app.
Yeah, totally.
Mid corner, you get an extra 300 brake horse.
Absolutely, yeah. I like that idea.
I do as well. It's terrifying, but I like it. Um, well, actually, on the subject of crashing, so one of the big changes here was a space frame chassis,
Hmm.
and they standardized the safety cell as well. So like all the cars have a standardized safety cell. They
And that's just
reduced the
the tubular roll cage that goes around the driver and stuff.
Yeah, pretty much. And I mean, like the thing is how well here, like I mean, rally cars crashing at like 120 mile an hour and somersaulting end over end over end like 6 times, and then coming to rest in a tree is quite normal. Um,
Hmm.
and the amount of times you see in-car footage, and the driver just lets go of the steering wheel, and he's like, you
Just
just
let it
see
happen, yeah.
his head's just bobbing about a little bit, and then like they come to a rest upside down, and they're just like, ah. Well, that happened, you know.
Totally. We actually haven't really talked about crashes that much,
We
but
haven't,
crashes
no.
do be a big part of rally. And like there are some properly spectacular ones. I do love some of the jumps they have in, some of the finish rallies, and there's a few other there's quite a few jumps actually, but like the the jumps over like kind of like snow humps are so cool to see, like just a totally white scene surrounding with just a car being yeeted into the air.
Oh, it's fantastic. I love it, man. Do you know, like, rally's probably my favorite um sport. Like, I just think it's fantastic. It's really hard to beat the rush that you get from it as well. Like, when you've done a little bit of driving yourself and you're like, I can handle a car, and then you watch somebody driving like he literally has a respawn button in front of him.
Totally, yeah.
It takes so it's like you can appreciate it, and it's like holy fuck, that's wild, man.
The
Um,
commitment is impressive.
oh yeah, like they're fucking absolutely insane. Um, actually, this is one thing about Rally One as well. Toyota is the dominant manufacturer.
Is that with the GR Yaris?
Yes, which is something both. Well, I'm absolutely all about that because I'm a big Toyota fanboy, but I think there's a bit of a Toyota fanboy in you as well, to be fair.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I like the Yaris quite a lot. And I mean, I'm not a huge Fiesta fan, and that seems to be like, one of the other kind of major players in rally.
Yeah, well, no, because it's now the Ford Puma Rally one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so you know the horrible Puma hatchback fucking thing, not the nice, amazing Puma that we had in the early 2000s, but the modern one.
You know what? You're totally right. I'm looking at a picture now. It is the Ford Puma, but at first I genuinely just assumed that was a Fiesta, just with
That is
some rally tat on it.
that is how replaceable Ford's designs are.
Yeah, you're not wrong there. Is it like you're
Um,
like, is that Fiesta? Is it Focus? Ah, they're basically the same.
so I mean, 2025 season expands to 14 rounds and the debut of Rally Saudi Arabia. I mean, human rights abuses. That's all we can really say there.
Yeah.
Um,
Unfortunately, money goes a long way in motorsport.
it does. Now, now that we've got that out of the way, I've got a little bit of what kind of the rallies that define the WRC. And some of this is quite interesting as well. So you got Rally Monte Carlo,
Hmm.
which has been the season opener since 1973. Every single rally has opened with the Rally Monte Carlo, which is quite
Yeah,
incredible.
that's insane.
And it's known for being really unpredictable with snow and ice. Like sometimes it's almost pure tarmac, and then other times like the snow and the ice is just insane.
Do they do it at different times of the year, or is it always about the same time of the year?
It's always about the same time. It's
Oh,
just the local
interesting.
climate. Um, then you have Safari Rally Kenya, which is a brutal endurance test. Like that's basically the only way you can sum up Safari Rally in Kenya. It's absolute savage test of machinery. Um, and they revived that in the modern era as well. It kind of disappeared for a little bit. And then you have Rally Finland, which is flowing gravel and insane high speed jumps. Like this is where all the fantastic footage of Group B comes from, where it's
Mm.
like just 100 feet off the floor. And it's widely lauded as like the sport's spiritual home as well.
I mean, it's is it Finland's the place that produces a lot of very quick rally drivers?
Yeah, Mackinnon. Um, Fucking hell, my brain's just totally given up on me there. But yeah, like so many rally drivers come from. I mean, we've covered this before. Like the fact that they have like low cost racing, um, and like going to amateur motorsport in Finland is the same as going to play football at the park here. Like
Yeah, totally.
families go out and enjoy it as a family. It's a really really cool culture. So it is.
Yeah, totally. They take it. Yeah, it's just a bit more culturally embedded. They take it a little bit more serious. Plus, all of the roads are like rally stages, anyways.
Yeah, pretty much. It's really easy to be a rally driver when going to work. You need to be a rally driver. um, then you've got Acropolis, which is Greece, renowned for being rough, hot, and just breaking cars. Like even in the games, man. Like I always like in dirt. I always died. I didn't die, but I broke my car in Greece. Like there's always a big rock somewhere that's just going to jump out at you and be like, "Surprise, motherfucker!"
It's when you just don't quite hear "don't cut," or you more
Yeah,
more disastrously you ignore "don't cut" because you're like, I know better.
yeah. It's like I can cut this corner. Bang, shit. Um, Maybe I couldn't. Then you've got the RAC rally, which is it's up there with the Safari and Monte Carlo. I would say it's kept its name as well, and it's historically a long rally. Um, it's almost exclusively forest based, and it's usually pretty heavy, weather heavy. Like the rain plays a big part in just how wild that one can get.
They do vary the actual stages they use between years,
Yes,
though, don't they?
they do.
I I really like the forest tracks they use in the UK rally stages. There's some really good ones, and they can also be quite brutal because they're filled with horrible off camber, weird corners that feed you directly downhill into tree.
Yes. Have you ever tried doing like Rally Wales, fucking hell, Rally Wales in Dirt One with like
Yeah,
a
no,
rear wheel,
I've played so much Dirt One. I've definitely done those ones. Yeah.
but in like a rear wheel drive car, like an Escort with a controller? It's impossible. Like you you just look at the corner and the car goes sideways, and you're like, I literally can't control this fucking thing. Like, this is impossible without a steering wheel and pedals. Um, yeah. Then last two on my list for like iconic rallies, you've got Argentina, which again, like Greece, but not quite as bad. Really rugged stages, like really heavy on the car, and the crowds are fucking wild. And then possibly my favourite one, Sweden, which it's the only full snow event, and it has been the only full snow event for decades. So they
Mm.
always go to Sweden in the winter, Lapland, and it's always in the snow, and it's fantastic to watch. It's absolutely amazing.
It's really striking. So they basically only use snow tires and ice tires for Rally Sweden.
Pretty much, yeah. There's not much call for anything else. I mean, imagine trying to run like soft slicks.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't be doing that.
You just would not get anywhere. I've got a couple of names of like drivers who stand out.
Lay it on
Um,
me.
so you've got Sebastian Loeb, most successful driver ever, 9 consecutive wins. It might actually be more than that. But at the time when I wrote that for early 2000s, it was 9 at the time. Um, yeah, most successful driver ever, famous for just going, yeah, I don't care if it's dirt or tarmac, I just do what I need to do. Like, fair fucking play, man. Then you have Sebastian Ogier, who's a multiple time champion. Carlos Sainz, senior. El Matador, and he was just fantastic. Like a fucking amazing driver. These three are probably my favourite drivers ever. Tommy Mäkinen, so he had 4 consecutive titles in the Group A era.
Was that in the Evo?
Yes,
Mm. The
and then
red
you
and
have
white Evo.
that's the one, man.
Yeah, absolutely iconic.
And then we have everybody's favourite Scotsman, Colin McRae.
If in doubt, flat out.
That's the one, man. He was the first British world champion.
He was like very much a put down kind of guy. That Colin McRae had some properly spectacular crashes.
He was a full throttle motherfucker. Like,
One of my
um,
favorite ones is the one where he rolls it. I think at least once, but maybe a couple of times, and then it lands on all four wheels, and he just puts his foot straight back down.
yeah, he had a reputation as a car wrecker. Um, and like his first car was a Sierra Cosworth, believe it or not. And he won his junior rally in a Sierra Cosworth, which was like 4 times bigger than every other car in the fucking rally, and he just decimated with it. And then after that, he got into the escorts. Um, but yeah, he was incredible. And then, of course, he ended up racing for Subaru. One of my favourite things about him. Do you remember watching the documentary about him?
I may have seen it. I think I've definitely seen something
So
about it because I know. I think I know a fair bit.
there's footage of him at this, and he's never been on a motorbike before at this point, right? This is important information. So it's his first ever go on a motorbike round a track, and it's his first ever go on a motorbike, period. And he goes on with Scotland flag knee sliders, and they're brand new, shiny, out the box knee sliders, right? He comes back after 4 laps and he's had his knee down so much on both legs that the knee sliders are fucked. And it's his first ever time on a bike. And the guy with the camera is asking him, he goes, "Oh, you've had that leaned over or something like that?" And he goes, "Yeah, it's my first time on a bike as well." Like, just as if it doesn't even occur to him. And it's just like, yeah, man, it's like I've just fucking scalped it around the track. Like, I know people that have been riding for years and they've never had their knee down.
Mm.
And this guy's first time on a bike and he's like grinding the knee sliders down into oblivion. And they're like Legitimately, it looks like somebody's taking a fucking angle grinder to them. It's fantastic.
Yeah,
Um,
he was a full commitment kind of guy there.
he was full commitment all the time, and a personal hero of mine, I have to say. Um, then you Walter Hall, Group B legend, and do you want to guess what manufacturer holds the most wins historically?
In the whole time.
Yeah.
So I think that okay, so Citroen have done quite well, and so have Ford recently. Renault's. Hmm. Oh man, I have no idea. I'm gonna say Citroen.
So you'd be right.
Oh no
Which
way!
I think that's an amazing fact as well, because Peugeot won the first ever, like, the Paris, the 1894 race. It was a Peugeot that won it, and Peugeot Citroën are the same company now.
Mm,
And I just think there's something incredible about that Citroën
they're
holds the
still at
most
it.
wins historically, and they're still at it. Like, they've been at it since what's over 100 years now.
Yeah, that's quite cool. I mean, they would have more victories if you folded in Peugeot, any Peugeot wins or anything like that.
Well, precisely, yeah. But I think that's just fantastic. And that, my friend, is all I have for you on the history of WRC. Um,
That was great.
as
I really enjoyed that. I learned a fair bit as well.
good man, I'm pleased to hear it.
Yeah, that was excellent. I think should we wrap it up?
I think so.
I think that'd
Unless
be
you've
a
got
great
anything
time.
you want to add or ask.
Um, Not really. I kind of interrupted you as we went.
That's okay, man. I don't mind.
But no, do you know what? You have made me want to get back into like at least playing a wee rally game here and there or something like that. Um, but
Fine.
I always end up gravitating towards the 70s rear wheel drive class stuff.
Yeah.
I really like that. It's like it's slow enough that it's not a complete nightmare to keep the car on the road, and it's quite a lot about like momentum and maintaining speed rather than blasting between corners. But yeah, I usually enjoy that. I do quite like some of the four wheel drive stuff as well.
Love era one, like the early 2000s stuff like Mark 1 and Mark 2 Focus,
Hmm.
the Blob Eye Impreza, Evo sort of 7, 6. Like that era is just fantastic. Absolutely, I'd love it. And it's because that's what I was watching when I was a kid, though.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. Totally.
but yeah, man, I love it. Um, and my own personal driving style does borrow somewhat from WRC, if I'm totally honest.
Hmm. You're more. Do you think you're more rally than circuit?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, you've been in the Impreza with me. I mean, what would you believe?
I could definitely see you chucking a car around like a gravel road way more readily than I could see you like, being super precise and around a racetrack.
Fair
I
play.
see you more as a stabbing at the wheel kind of wrestle car along track than like precision.
I'll take that. Yeah, man, cool. No, man, this has been really good. I've really enjoyed that.
Yeah,
Like,
no, this has been great. I've 100%. This has been a really, really good kind of whistle stop tour over WRC, and like there's still a few different things we didn't really talk too much about, but I honestly think this has been a great like history.
yeah, it's really difficult because like the temptation was really there to like do every rally, and this is what happened in '74, and this is what happened in '75. But I couldn't do it, man. Because I mean, we'd still be going at fucking 4 o'clock in the morning.
I totally get it. Like when you're doing the research, you're like, oh yeah, no, this is really interesting, and oh, this is quite interesting, and stuff like that. And then you need to be like, no, there's a limit.
Yeah, you need to rein it in sometimes, which is a fucking shame, but it is what it is.
You're gonna have me watching old rally clips now.
I'll send you some old rally clips. You send me some highlights for Formula One tomorrow. I'll send you some rally stuff tomorrow. There's a
Okay,
deal.
absolutely deal, totally a deal.
Cool,
Cool.
man.
Well, I think all that's left to say is thank you so much, Colin. I really enjoyed that. That was great, and thanks everyone for listening. If you enjoyed this, please do consider giving us a like, a subscribe, leave us a comment, tell you how you feel. And yeah, and until next time, when I suspect we might not be as structured next time, but we'll see. Goodbye.
Probably not.
Yeah, no, that's probably not.
No.